championship and the race in the butt kicker 250.
Keith Bradley gets his second championship on the Friday Night Series with the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series Season 8. This rookie season, he will win the championship for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
It is another week of NASRA competition. The playoffs roll along as we go into season number 4 of the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series. We are at Mobility Resort Motegi. Okay, the Americans call it Twin Ring Motegi, but now it is called Mobility Resort Motegi, and that is where we are tonight for the next round of the playoffs. We were saying this during our debrief production meeting before we went live tonight for the Blanchard's 200. I think as long as I've been calling iRacing, I've never announced a race here at Twin Ring Motegi, and that, of course, is where we are tonight with the trucks, and it's the Blanchard's Towing and Recovery Repair 200. Next race on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. I'm Wesley Outland. Mr. Viking Stephen Bartlett is alongside. Stephen, we ready to go here in virtual Japan, my friend?
I think we are ready to go. Now, I don't own this track, so as we mentioned before the broadcast, I'm not sure of what this track is going to bring. But talking to some of the drivers, they say this track is modeled after Darlington, but it's flatter and it's a tough track. So we'll have to watch and see what happens.
And this is the opening race of the semifinal round, might I add. If you can win here tonight, if you're one of our playoff drivers, you punch your ticket into the Championship 6. So, again, this is the semifinals, and if you want to be at an opportunity to race for a championship, this is the perfect time to do it now. A track that we really don't know very well, but for 10 drivers, they're going to be on the cusp of wanting to win a race here to put themselves into whatever happens the next 2 weeks, Stephen, to be able to race for a championship whenever we get to Homestead.
Yeah, 2 weeks is all that's left for these guys after tonight. And we'll find out who the Championship 6 is. But for these guys like Tiffany, Meza, LaBeouf, and Lumpkin, their best bet is to pull out a win. If they can pull out a win, they're locked in. If not, they're on the bubble and may not make it into the final 6.
Yeah, if you're one of these drivers, obviously, as we mentioned, if you're in the upper 6, you definitely have a better opportunity than 4 drivers that are even in red. And for that matter, a driver in Season 2 champion, Brady LaBeouf, he is literally in the semifinal round, but he got in by virtue of the points. Brady LaBeouf has got to win in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks to try to make it to the championship round at Homestead. As we look at the playoff bracket, the field is gritting, and we're about ready to introduce the starting lineup for these drivers here. As we mentioned, my name is Wesley Outland. Thank you. Finally, Dean, you fixed my name on the bottom as well, at Wesley Outland on Instagram, I guess, or X Twitter. Facebook is Wesley S. Outland. Stephen Bartlett's in the house as well. It's always good being able to work with our buddy up in Oregon State, and we're getting ready to see what these drivers will be ready to do here. As again, 200 laps the distance. Let's take a look at the starting lineup, and Colin Weatherbolt, whatever you want to call him, puts another fast time down around Twin Ring Motegi at Mobility Resort Motegi. He'll be on the pole. Brady LaBeouf, the Season 2 champion, on the outside. Kerry Tribune, Jonathan Cofield, the Mumford, Alabama driver, will fire off fourth. Georgia's Jacob Reeves, the redneck announcer, will be in the top 5. Adam Newton, Chris Cinnamon, Tyler Goodwin will make up row 4. Stephen Thomas, James Coffin will make up your top 10. Justin White and Tyler Dittmer, the, of course, driver now in Washington State, will start 12th.
And in row 7, we have Adam Newbert and Brian Chu. Row 8, Phil Pappas, Joey Stiers. Row 9, Taylor Peacock, Craig Schroeder. Row 10, Nate Maurer, Chris Blanchard. Row 11, we have Jeffrey Johnson and Dane Hagan. And in row 12, Bo Tiffany and Andrew Harris.
Now let's look at the rest of the lineup, including Robert Richards starting 25th. Brandon Bullock will be in the 17, starting 26. Stephen Gregory, Raul Meza will make up row 14. Row 15 by himself will be Mr. Fred Lester. TJ Moore is the race director coming off of Charlotte. Obviously, right now, Colin Weatherholt is the points leader, but remember, everything resets for 10 drivers. You want to make it to the championship 6, you better figure out a way to get through this race. Let's introduce, of course, how things will go, the tale of the tape. Remember, by the way, Motegi tonight, Talladega next week, Phoenix in 2 weeks, and then the championship will be decided on December 9th at Homestead, Miami. This is essentially your final 4 weeks of Season 4. We will have 3 stages of this race. It is 200 miles, 130 laps the distance. Stage number 1 will go to lap number 35. Then we'll go into the Glass Mechanic Stage 2. That'll be another 35 laps to take us to lap number 70. And then you've got about a 60-lap flag Stage 3 run to take us to the finish of the race. Now, obviously, Stephen, there is 4 sets of tires. There is 100% fuel capacity. Overtime attempts can be 3. But speaking of fuel capacity, because sometimes we've seen 65% or 45%. What is 100% fuel capacity for these trucks? Do you think these drivers could possibly go on just one stop of the race?
It's about 18 gallons. And they usually, I've noticed that NASRA usually breaks up the stages right about that time when they need fuel or the tires are really getting bad. Unfortunately, my steering wheel broke. And I don't have this track, so I don't know what the pit window is. But we'll have to watch these guys and see when they pit, if they have to make a pit stop before lap 35 or if they can go all the way to 35.
This will be a very, very unique racetrack, obviously, as you're seeing the field pace behind the pace truck coming to the green flag start. That, you know, it's a unique facility. It's a very flat racing surface. If you look at the track map, you can literally see that it looks like another version of Darlington Raceway, as we were mentioned earlier. So right now, ready to see what Brady LaBeouf and Weatherholt will do on the front row. Weatherholt has the inside choice, as of course being the fast qualifier. He chooses the inside. He could have chose the outside, but he does stick to the bottom. Here they come on the smaller version of the Darlington Raceway in Japan. We're coming to green. The playoffs, the semifinals underway, and the Blanchard's Towing 200 is green here at Motegi.
And Justin White jumps out to the lead. Brady LaBeouf behind him on that top row, and underneath Brady is Adam Newbert. Joey Stiers behind him, then Phil Pappas. I'm sorry, I got the wrong. Okay,
Yeah,
Colin Weatherholt is out in the lead.
Yeah.
Brady LaBeouf, Jonathan Cofield, Adam Newton, Kerry Tribune.
We're watching all of this happen now as they work their way in. We already got a caution on the racetrack, guys. We got trouble. It looks like it's the 33 of Jeffrey Johnson, the third, possibly Chris Cinnamon, Greg Schroeder, some other drivers turned around, and there it is. Caution out on the opening lap, just at the bottom of turn number 3 and 4, and the yellow flag will fly for the first time.
I want to welcome everyone out there in the YouTube chat. I see we have some new people joining us tonight.
Welcome, everybody. We welcome you. But now, obviously, we invite you to interact with us as well. Here's a look at a replay. What a tough break for the Spice Man. Chris Cinnamon, the defending series champion. And, you know, Stephen, this has just not been the year for the repeat champion. It just hasn't happened for him.
No,
Or not
Cinnamon's had
repeat champion, defending champion, I need to say. Yeah.
Yeah, Cinnamon's had a tough time this season. It looks like he got bumped from behind by the 44, and then just couldn't regain control of the truck after that.
Nowhere to go for Brian Chu, Craig Schroeder, Jeffrey Johnson, other drivers going around. By the way, our instant replay presented by Poltz Poppers. First caution coming out, and it was very, very quickly at that. So the yellow flag out for the first time. Serve pro caution, if you will. I want to remind you as well, if you're new to our family on the NASRA 360 Racing Network, we welcome you and yours. Hit that subscribe and like button to keep up with all the other great content coming up. Don't forget, tomorrow night, we got the NASRA Blanchard Towing Xfinity Series, the NASRA Cup Series, presented by, of course, TLC Incorporated and Premier Racing Setups on Wednesday night. Thursday night, I'll be in the booth filling in for my buddy on vacation, Mr. Jacob Reeves. Thursday night, me and Dean Hopton will be on the call for Goat Locker Racing Arca Thunder. And then on Friday, it's the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series playoffs. I believe it's round number 2. It will be it'll be, of course, on Friday night. So there you go. That's all that's coming up here. That's awesome.
Talladega is always a fun one in the playoffs. That can change a lot of things.
So the track now known as what used to be Twin Ring Motegi. I was also told in my abbreviations class earlier this afternoon, as you're watching Raw Mezaba on camera, that it is now known as Mobility Resort Motegi. So anyhow, we're going to look at the track dimensions, if you will, of this facility. That is the Mobility Resort Motegi. Of course, it is a low-banked 1.549-mile track. There's a look at Andrew Harris, by the way. Andrew Harris, Bumblebee or Bug Eyes there. It is a 1.549-mile, 2.493-kilometer egg-shaped course with turns 3 and 4 being much tighter than turns number 1 and 2, as we mentioned earlier. Of course, located in Motegi, Tochigi, Japan. So that's where it's from, Motegi, Tochigi, Japan. There is also a road course that is built inside of the speedway that is measured in at 2.983 miles. There is a road course, 12 to 15 turns, but we are on the big part of the speedway. So there you go. Now you're a little bit more ahead of what it is and what we got. If you remember the name Twin Ring Motegi, this was the site after Suzuka ran the postseason NASCAR Thunder. If you remember, they ran the racing season. I want to say it was 94, 95, and 96 when NASCAR came to Japan. It started off at Suzuka Thunder. They ran 2 seasons at the road course at Suzuka, and then Twin Ring Motegi was built. And again, Stephen, to add to the point that we were talking about earlier, the powers that be wanted this racetrack in Japan to be an oval track for NASCAR to run during the preseason, or the NASCAR Season Thunder, the NASCAR Thunder as they called it, at the end of the year, whenever they finished up in Atlanta at the time. And in doing so, it was a mixture of the NASCAR drivers of the Cup Series, the Xfinity Series, what was known as the NASCAR Super Truck Series, and some of the best stock car drivers or road race competitors in Japan or in Europe to be able to have the opportunity to run. 2 years they ran Suzuka, the road course. Then they ran here at Twin Ring Motegi, which is now Mobility Resort Motegi. And it is an oval track, and it was really, really cool. And then it stopped, and a lot of people wish they would come back.
Yeah, and November 22nd, 1998 was the first.
There you go.
It was the Coca-Cola 500, and it was the very first race that Dale Earnhardt Sr. and
Yep.
Jr. ran together.
That's exactly right. Oh, and by the way, they didn't drive the number 3 Goodwrench or number 3 AC Delco car either. They had a special deal with Coca-Cola, and they had the Coca-Cola Bears on the car. Dale Earnhardt drove a black number 3 with the red number, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. drove a red Polar Bear Coca-Cola number 1 as we come back to green here at Motegi. Weather hold on the restart. Look at that great jump he got over LaBeouf and Cofield there, Stephen.
Yeah, he's already jumped out to 0.3 of a second. Oh, we got another truck going around the 25. Will that bring out a caution? Doesn't look like it. Looks like they're going to keep it green.
We will stay green. That looks like it's James Kaufman with a problem, but we will stay under the green lights. This time as they thunder off turn 4 down the straightaway here at Mobility Resort Motegi. And down the front straightaway back into the turn 1 area. Look at Weatherholt. Nice, comfortable lead over Cofield. LaBeouf watches on. So does Newton and Tribune. There's your top 5. They're staying connected to the bottom of the racetrack until they hit the back straightaway. Did they run up against the safer barrier there, Stephen?
And Colin Weatherholt jumped out to 0.8 of a second lead now over Jonathan Cofield. That's the 19 Adam Newton. Our lifetime he hasn't updated yet, but looks like Adam Newton is in, or I'm seeing things. Okay, he's in 4th. Adam Newton's in 4th. Okay, Colin Weatherholt, Jonathan Cofield, Brady LaBeouf, Adam Newton, Kerry Jabu now on. Newton's outside trying to make that pass going into turn 3.
As we mentioned, by the way, 10 degrees of banking. I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied here. The racetrack is 10 degrees of banking all the way through turns number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Short entrances of the racetrack off of turn 3 and 4, a short turn. Then the wide sweeping turns in 1 and 2 where they're actually overtaking right now. Look at them now. Plenty of space, too, as we go on board now with Raul Meza, the California driver, the Surf Pro, number 37 out of Chico, California. Now, look at how wide this racing surface is here. Flat track. It's a wide surface here at Motegi, Japan, and then they go into turn 3, and look at how banked it looks like you're really going up into a lot of banking, Stephen, but then as you get closer into the turn, that small corner, it really flattens out, and then you're quickly on the gas going back down the straightaway, and we got a caution. Another yellow flag will fly. Andrew Harrison problem, one of the playoff contenders. Andrew Harrison, 87, has crashed. You're on board with him on the bottom. There he is with the bug eyes on his VR headset. And Andrew Harris brings us under our second caution of the night. Let's see what happened to the 87 Chevrolet as we get a look at a Pulse Poppers instant replay Viking to set it up for us. He's alongside Stephen Gregory in 61.
Outside, and Gregory comes up into him and bangs his door a little too hard.
Wow.
Sends him into the wall.
We got beef. Look at this again, man. I mean, now, would you say Steven did it in, well, yeah. Oh, boy, hell yeah, he did it. Never mind. I was about to say, was that an accident? But no, not when you rammed somebody in the left rear 3 times. Oh, no.
I believe that was done on purpose.
Oh, boy. Well, that's not our call. We're just a broadcast booth. Obviously, TJ Moore. TJ Moore will be the guy that will make the calls on this, but I would love to get the thoughts of what Andrew Harris is thinking right now. We'll try to snag him here in the booth. We also can put him on camera in real time as well because he is one of the guys that is on our camera too. So let's check in with Up Front Motorsports driver Andrew. Andrew, what happened out there, man?
Oh, I don't know. It is what it is.
I mean, did you guys get into one another earlier? We missed it, or is there some beefs there between you and Gregory from the past, or what?
Oh, I just think I should probably not talk on it, to be honest.
He doesn't want to talk about it. All right, we're coming to pit
guys.
road. Thank you, buddy. We're going to go to break, and Andrew Harris will try to get some fixes done. I tried, Steven. I tried to poke the bear, but it just ain't working.
Yeah, sounds like there is some beef there. When he doesn't want to talk about it like that, but who knows? That's between those two guys.
Pit stops are ongoing. Just 12 laps in from Mobility Resort Motegi. We're back with more on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. This is the DSR Electric Truck Series Playoffs.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
We're back here, of course, at the Mobility Resort Motegi. Okay, that's what they call the track now. It used to be called Twin Ring Motegi, but now, of course, Mobility Resort Motegi is where we are. I'm Wesley Outland. Mr. Stephen Bartlett is alongside the Viking, Bigglesdean Hopton. Dean is closer to Motegi than we are. Pip pip cheerio, my friend. How are you? You have a good weekend, Dean?
Yes, I am. Thank you very much. I'm similar time zones, of course, in this neck of the woods, but it's still a 9-hour flight, mate, to go up to Japan. I've been there a few times. I love it, actually. More vending machines than there are people, and the average train delay for public transport is probably about 13 seconds. Quicker than a pit stop. Yeah.
Did you say that there was more
vending
what
machines?
Did you say? Vending machines?
Yeah, there's about 2
people?
vending machines per person or something like that. Japan, it's crazy.
You can buy almost everything out of those there in Japan.
Yep.
So if I wanted to buy a pair of shoes, I could just go to a vending machine and buy a pair
even
of shoes.
Even if you go to you go to a fast food place, right, or whatever, to pay for something at the counter, they don't handle the money. You got to use a little machine that's outside the counter there. You pay it in the machine there, and then they got your order, and then they'll give it to you over the counter. So no money exchanging at all.
Well, we have concluded our second Serve Pro Caution Fire, Water Cleanup and Restoration Serve Pro, official partner of NASRA, as the pace truck will get ready to make their way back to the Geico restart zone. They'll get ready to come back to the green flag. 13 of 130 laps in the Blanchard's Towing and Repair 200 playoffs, semifinal round opener, and we are back to green. Weatherholt with a great restart down that 10 degrees down the front straightaway. He'll sell it back into turn 1, Stephen.
And Brady LaBeouf takes that second place back from Jonathan Cofield. Just got that better jump behind Weatherholt. Weatherholt jumping out to 3/10 of a second lead already. He's got them rockets on tonight.
Definitely got a really good rocket ship right now, if you will, watching these guys thunder their way into the corner, into that short chute, if you will, the short turn of the racetrack in turn number 3 and 4. Of course, this track, a low banked 1.5 mile track, egg-shaped course, with turns 3 and 4 much tighter than turns number 1 and 2. A very wide racing surface at that, as we watch these guys work their way down the back straightaway now again. This series, this track, if you will, Twin Ring Motegi, now known as Mobility Resort Motegi, has offered some amazing racing. We mentioned the NASCAR Thunder race in '98, the Coca-Cola 500. We mentioned also, we also can tell you that Honda used to race here. The IndyCar series ran here. Kart raced here. The championship auto racing teams, which then became IndyCar. The Super Formula Championship, Super GT, Formula One. Just some of the popular races that have been here at this awesome racetrack. Not just for four-wheeled vehicles, Stephen, but also two wheels.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised these guys are taking down that lower line, because if you look at this track, it resembles Darlington a lot. It's flat at the bottom, and the higher up you go into the turns, the higher the slope of the track. But yet they are going down to the bottom. They seem to think that cutting the corner, so to speak, is the fastest way to go around here.
Weather hold up in front. Here's a look at the. We got to update the schedule, by the way. It's way behind. Yeah. Weather hold is the leader. Cofield and LaBeouf right now, the top three. Tribune, Newton, top five. As that's the way they stand around the racetrack to put another lap on the board with 112 laps to go. Next week, by the way, we are going from the 1.5 mile here at Mobility Resort Motegi to Talladega Super Speedway, the fast 2.66 mile Super Speedway, high bank, 34 degrees of banking track. And boy, oh boy, it is not the next to last, it is not the final race to go to the championship race, but it is a wild card in the semifinal round, and anything can happen. If you can win here tonight, like Weatherholt or one of these other drivers in yellow and red, they can advance to the semifinals. And whatever happens at Talladega, they know they've got a wild card.
And a long virtual flight home of about 21 hours on just to start out when they leave here.
Yes. Yeah, get ready to make your trip back for sure. They got to hightail it back to virtual Talladega whenever they finish here tonight, no doubt. That'll be next, of course, Monday night. That'll be, of course, the semifinal round. We're here. This is the semifinals. This is the drivers that try to make it in to the final championship 6. That'll be decided in the championship race at Homestead, Miami. Boy, that'll be coming up on December 9th. By the way, hope you can join us. We're going to be right here with you all the way through it. Of course, November 11th will be, of course, at where we are tonight. November 25th, Talladega. So I want to remind you, we're off next Monday night, right? Kind of crazy, but we're taking off next Monday. That's what it says on the schedule.
We'll have to take a look at that. I didn't know we were off next week.
Unless there's an error, it says November 11th, which is tonight. We're here at Twin Ring Motegi. The 25th, November 25th, will be Talladega. That's on 2 weeks from Monday. We're not racing next Monday.
That's interesting. I thought maybe they would take Thanksgiving week off, but they're going to race Thanksgiving week, take next week off, it sounds like.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, yeah. And then Phoenix Raceway, then we've got Homestead, Miami. So we'll have to check. We'll have to check with the powers that be and make sure that that this is correct or not. It might be an error that's put up, but it is showing right now, November 11th, obviously right now at Motegi, then the 25th at Talladega. So if there is a change, we'll let you know. If it is next Monday night, we'll be right here with you. If not, we'll be here in 2 weeks. By the way, moving into the end of stage number 1, we're on lap number 23 of 35, and Weatherholt is still the leader in the 11.
Yeah, Weatherholt now is about 0.6 of a second out in front of Jonathan Cofield. Kerry Chaput almost a second behind Jonathan Cofield, and Brady LaBeouf is almost another second behind Kerry Chaput. So Colin Weatherholt's got a big lead right now. Hanging on to it. Jonathan Cofield trying to catch him.
Working these drivers down the front straightaway again. There's the Highline Racing entry in the lead. Cofield right there. in the second spot, about 7/10 back. Then it's going to be Kerry Tribune about 3 seconds back. Kerry Tribune losing a lot of ground from the 11 and the 58 machine. That's going on down the back straightaway as we are nearing the end, closing in on 10 remaining here in stage number 1 of the Blanchard Towing 200. We got a caution. Caution is out. Third time of the race in stage 1. It is Robert Richards that has crashed on the back straightaway. The factory canopies number 48 Toyota, driver out of Concord, North Carolina, or Gastonia, North Carolina for that matter. Here is a replay of what happened to the 48 single truck spin there, Viking Steven, to put us under the yellow flag again. Look at it, just lost it on his own, coming off of that 10 degrees of banking in the corner.
Got a little loose, probably got into the gas a little too hard when it came out from that corner. We mentioned it before, that'll get you every time. Too much gas too soon.
So another yellow flag coming out over the racetrack. Weather, Holt, Cofield, Tribune, LaBeouf, Dittmer. There's your top 5. We've got about 10 laps left to go in the first stage. Is anybody coming down pit road? We'll find out this answer here. I know we saw some drivers pit earlier around lap 12. And I don't think anybody's coming down pit road, at least up in the front. We'll take a break. We'll take our sponsors. More from Mobility Resort Motegi. Not Motegi. Motegi, Japan, when we come back.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
So a couple of clarifications. Want to let everyone know that I did concur with the powers that be at NASRA. It is an error on the scheduling date, but they are still going to go with it. They were scheduled to take off Thanksgiving week, which is supposed to have been the 25th. But because the schedule has already been put in place, they will be off next Monday night. So I want to emphasize on that. The NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series will be off next Monday night. We will come back on November 25th, and that will be at Talladega. All right, and Steven, you got some updates on what happened between Weather, Holt, and Gregory, we're understanding from the previous caution.
From Harris and
Harris
Gregory.
and Gregory. Yes, sir. My apologies. Go ahead.
From what I understand, there's a conflict between those two because Harris knocked Gregory out of a possible win last week, and it sounds like he did some payback tonight.
Wow. So Harris knocked Gregory out of an opportunity to win the race. Wow. So, and you know what's kind of funny? And he got here, guys. Here's the thing, though, and listen to this: Andrew Harris and Stephen Gregory, they're teammates. They're a part of Upfront Motorsports. So that just adds to the bull factor, if you will, of what we just witnessed. So look at now, Johnson and other guys coming off pit road. There's Craig Schroeder, by the way. By the way, speaking of Scooters Coffee, and I'm no way trying to plug them in no shape or form, Stephen or Dean, but I did have my first ever Scooters Coffee over the weekend when I was in Asheboro, North Carolina. And that's actually pretty darn good. Yeah, when I was at Caraway Speedway. So, Scooters Coffee. They are black flagged Andrew Harris. Conversations going on with race control of what's going on here, so we'll try to find out if there's any more to it between Harris and Gregory. You got to watch what you say there, man, because I thought it was what we were saying was official. We're going back to green, and the Blanchard's towing 200 back under green here with Weatherholt up in front. He has done well, Stephen, all through the first stage, and the 11 is right where he needs to be right now.
He really has. He's done a great job tonight, and that other playoff driver, Newton. LaBeouf is right before him. LaBeouf is on the bubble. He's holding fourth. That could help him quite a bit going into this next round.
Down the front straightaway, there you see him working off turn 4 on the restart, all bunched up there with each other. Weatherholt in the lead now. Cofield starting to pile it on. There you see them 1 and 2. And there's Tribune right there behind him. LaBeouf is in 4th. Everyone all single file. And behind them, though, it's getting a little antsy. Watch how that second corner is, though. It's a very wide sweeping corner, Stephen. You got plenty of room, if you will. But if you aren't careful, the back, I was about to say you know what, the back end of that truck will come around and you will spin. We've seen that happen a couple of times to other drivers here off of turn 2.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of deceiving. It's because these guys that are spinning back there are just getting into the gas too early, too hard, and causing them to spin out. So I'm thinking that that's a deceiving turn when they are exiting it.
So Weatherholt is the leader. He is up in front. Time is running out here in stage 1. You're looking at Raul Meza, or you were looking at Raul Meza, past tense now, as that was a shot of him on the bottom right, working around the racetrack. Meza currently in the outside the top 15. Look at this battle now. Here comes now Adam Newton trying to run down Brady LaBeouf. This, of course, is for the number 4 position on the racetrack. There's the Bulldog, Adam Newton, down the back straightaway in that Toyota. Look at this, plenty of room down the backstretch. What a beautiful facility here at Mobility Resort Motegi here, Stephen. I mean, look, it's just a very nice facility.
It really is. Coming out of turn 4 now, getting ready to start the cross finish line. They will have about 3 laps to go to the end of the stage as we watch LaBeouf and Adam Newton battle for that 4th and 5th spot. Newton on the inside, Brady on his outside, trying to stay into that 4th spot now.
Coming down to the final couple of laps remaining here in stage number 1. And look at Tyler Dimmer down on the inside. He's one of those guys that are just racing to race. Up in Washington State, originally from Gore, Virginia, down to the inside. Battles along with Brady LaBeouf. They're the hosts of the Hot Lap podcast, coming back soon on the NASRA 360 Racing Network on Thursdays. And there goes Newton now, shuffled out of the deck. Door to door goes the 4 and the 24 as they work their way side by side with 1 to go here in stage 1.
And LaBeouf's trying real hard to stay in that 4th spot to get those 6 points for the end of the stage. That'll help him hopefully move into the Championship 6 here in about 4 weeks.
Here comes Colin Weatherholt. He'll work his way off of turn 4 down to the start-finish line. Cofield can't get him. He will win stage 1 here of this final lap. Can he get it
One
done?
more lap. Last lap.
You know you're still showing 2 laps to go, 1 lap to go, last lap. Yes, it did. It just did it. It just did it on the screen. Sorry, everybody. They're showing an extra last lap on the thing. My apologies. Last lap, Weatherholt now up in front in the 11. Cofield cannot get him. Here he comes off the corner. This will end the stage as Weatherholt works off turn 4. He'll come down to the line. This will end stage 1 here now officially as the caution will come out at the end of stage 1. It is Colin Weatherholt to win stage 1. Another stage win for the Highline Racing driver.
And Weatherholt followed by Jonathan Cofield, Harry Tribune, Brady LaBeouf, Adam Newton, the top 5. Then we have Tyler Dittmer, Jacob Reeves, Phil Pappas, Nate Maurer, and Joey Stiers are the top 10. All will receive points for the end of the stage 1. Now I believe everybody's going to come in and get fresh tires, put some top off their fuel, and before they head back out onto the track.
So Weatherholt, Cofield, Tribune, LaBeouf, Newton, top 5. Dittmer, Reeves, Pappas, Maurer, and Stiers are the 10 drivers that will receive stage points. Some of it means something. We're racing for the championship. For other guys that are not running for a championship, it really doesn't mean anything. They at least just lock up a point or two. And that is the way they finish up in the first stage of this race. We're going to pit road. They're going to be making pit stops, and we are going to take a break. Extended, we're coming back with more for stage 2, presented by the Glass Mechanic in just a moment.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Welcome back to the Twin Ring Motegi. Coming off that stage 1, everybody pitted except Taylor Peacock and Bo Tiffany. They're going to stay out, try and lead a lap. Hopefully they don't get ran over as these guys, everybody behind them has fresh tires and will have more grip to come around. Looks like we're going to go one more lap. Pace lap before the Green flag comes out as they come out of turn 4. Looks like the lights are off on the pay truck. They're racking them up, and we'll go green this next time around. On the restart, Taylor Peacock on the inside, row 1, Bo Tiffany on his outside. Then we have Colin Weatherholt in 3rd, Jonathan Colefield in 4th, Brady LaBeouf in 5th, Harry Chabu in 6th, Andrew Harris, Adam Newton in 7th, Andrew Harris in 8th, Nate Maurer in 9th, Jacob Reeves in 10th when we go back to green flag as they are on the backstretch right now. Just a reminder here with watching the race details, looking at the race details, stage 2 will be lap 70. That'll also be a caution flag. And then we'll have another 60 laps to go after that for the checkered flag. All right, pace truck is off as they approach the Geico restart zone. Taylor Peacock will get the start. He jumps out to the front. Colin Weatherholt hot on his tail, giving him a push. Peacock goes to the outside. Weatherholt down on the bottom retakes the lead. Brady LaBeouf right behind Weatherholt takes second. Taylor Peacock now up there on that top row in 3rd with Bo Tiffany underneath him.
Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Stepped away for a few minutes, and we're underway now with the Glass Mechanics stage number 2 here at Mobility Resort Motegi. And look at them now, starting to get 3 wide. It's a lot more exciting racing than in stage 1. Watching these guys going out in the corner now, Steven.
Yeah, they're all fighting for position. It's been kind of hard to pass. I've noticed they kind of get spread out after a few laps. And that does make it hard to pass when you can't catch the guy in front of you.
And while all of this is happening, obviously it has allowed these drivers to really get stacked up more aggressive than the first stage. The first stage, it was kind of quiet, single file. We are closing in, by the way, on stage 2. This is the start of it, and this will take us all the way to lap number 70. Lap 65 will be the official halfway point of this race. That is 200 miles, 130 laps here at the Blanchard Towing 200 here at Mobility Resort Motegi in Japan, virtual Japan on iRacing. Now they will go to the 3rd stage, and that will be about a 70-lap green flag run, as that'll be the longer stage of the race as we see these guys working their way back around the corner. Silent, comfortably coming to the line. There you see now LaBeouf trying to set his sights on Weatherholt, but he can't get him yet. They're on lap 43.
And I mentioned there at the beginning of this, when the green flag came out, that Bo Tiffany and Bo Tiffany and Taylor Peacock did not pit, and I was afraid they would kind of get what we would call getting ran over. They're falling back fast as they're on the older tires. Jacob Reeves now fighting Bo Tiffany for that 6th spot.
Run straight away into the corner. Look at now Jacob Reeves diving on the inside, the 57 here, along with Maurer and Tiffany. There's Bo Tiffany now, the Dragon Racing entry. Up top, going to have Dittmer on the bottom. That's another great battle going on in the top 10 as they work into 3 now, Steven.
And Colin Weatherholt, only a couple of laps into it, has already gained about a second lead over Brady LaBeouf. Kerry Chabu is on LaBeouf's tail, trying to get that second spot back from him.
working off the corner. By the way, join us all week long. Tonight, DSR, Blanchard's Xfinity tomorrow, NASRA Cup on Wednesday, Goat Locker Racing Thursday, and the C.O.P.S Truck Series of NASRA playoffs on Friday. All of that going on this week on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Weather holding the lead. Tribune, LaBeouf, Newton, Cofield, top 5 as they work their way, almost bouncing off the wall there for a minute. Looked like Cofield was getting some company. And all this goes on as they try to dive on the inside, going after Newton in 1 and 2.
Watching Newton and Jonathan Cofield. Cofield trying to catch up to Newton, who's in the 4th place truck at the moment. As we look at the playoff bracket, Andrew Harris, Pappas, Weatherholt, Thomas, Newton, Maurer right now are in, but that could change. We've got Tiffany, Meza, LaBeouf, and Lumpkin on the bubble, fighting to stay in the playoffs.
Weatherholt up in that top spot as they work their way down the back stretch here at Motegi. Look at now Cofield and Newton side by side. This is now for 4th and 5th. Look at Brady LaBeouf in the mix up ahead. Little sideways there for just a moment. He saves the truck, keeps it up off the outside wall. He'll hold on to 3rd. All this going on now is the top 3 are single file heading back to 1.
Colin Weatherholt still holding a 1-second lead over Terry Tribune. Brady LaBeouf in 3rd. About a half a second behind Tribune right now. Going into turn 3.
Look at Newton on the inside trying to power his way up under the back end of the Cofield truck. Cofield says no, stays up on the outside lane. Look at now Cinnamon, the defending series champion. What a tough break for Chris Cinnamon, man. This season to defend his crown, Stephen, has not been easy, and obviously he has been eliminated from contention to have a chance to hoist a 2-time championship. And right now, just Cinnamon having fun, racing whenever he can in the 3.
Yeah, he's had a rough season this year. It's kind of a shock to see, really, compared to what he's done the last couple of years.
There's Brady LaBeouf. Cofield right there behind him on the inside. They'll work their way back into the corner again. We are in Glass Mechanics stage number 2. This will take us all the way to lap number 70. This is about 20 laps remaining, by the way. 15 to the halfway mark of this race. This race is 200 miles, 130 laps here tonight. Stage points up for grabs, and especially if you're one of these playoffs contenders, they are a big help, Stephen, especially whenever we tally them up going into the new rounds for the title.
Yes, these guys in the playoffs right now in the top 10 is Weatherholt, Newton, Maurer, and Pappas. Those guys are in the yellow. In the red, Brady LaBeouf in 3rd, Tiffany in 10th. LaBeouf and Tiffany need to fight hard. Hopefully try and get a stage 2 win and eventually get the checker flag at the end of the race, and that'll lock them in if they can do that.
By the way, I want to say a big thank you to all of our men and women that fight for our country. And, of course, today is Veterans Day. So happy Veterans Day to all of our friends and family of those for whom that I do not know. But I thank you for your sacrifice and for your services to allow us to have the freedoms to do what we enjoy, whether it's be calling iRacing or having the freedoms to go to the races, or just have the freedom to have a job, go to work, and enjoy life. Thank you, men and women, for your services. And then, of course, we acknowledge those that have fought and that have died and perished to allow us to have those freedoms today. Thank you. Happy Veterans Day as we roll along down the front straightaway. Weatherholt in the lead. It is now the number 11. And we're watching this battle happen here in the top 10 between Tiffany Bo Tiffany, Joey Stiers. Look at now Justin White up in the mix as they're on the outside. On the bottom, the 04. That's a new truck. I don't think I've ever seen him before.
Yeah, thank you, Wes, for that acknowledgement. And I also want to say thank you to all my brothers and sisters that are active duty and veterans.
Yes, sir, definitely. I believe that is actually Adam Newbert that is in that 04. He's showing as a 34 on timing and scoring, but I believe that's the 34 of Adam Newbert, and that's a driver out of Toccoa, Georgia, by the way, who was a Season 1 champion of this truck series 4 seasons ago. Took some time off, came back, and now Newbert's in the wall. Adam Newbert in the Cinnamon. Caution out of the back straightaway.
Cinnamon just can't catch a break.
Shouldn't have said a damn thing. Shouldn't have said a damn thing about him. Should I? This is the announcer jinx. Oh man, he's gonna be like, Wesley, what the hell, dude? Why'd you call me out like that for? Here's a replay as we go into another Serve Pro caution. Look at this.
Coming out of turn 4, I believe they are, and he just gets loose. And trying to recover, he overcorrects and takes Cinnamon as on his way to the wall to that safer barrier.
And there's again Chris Cinnamon, nowhere to go. Chris Cinnamon into the wall. Wesley, why? Why did you do that to me? Why? Another Pulse Poppers instant replay as we go under another caution flag. So we're going to see some guys coming down pit road here.
Leaders are staying out.
Yeah, I just don't see them pitting. I really thought we could have it a one or two stop race, one or two pit stops for this race, honestly, Steven.
Well, I can understand Cinnamon and the 34 or 04 as he's showing on our screen coming in. They were just in that accident. They want to get some repairs done, but maybe that's what some of these other guys are doing. They're trying to get some repairs done from previous wrecks.
Caution out again. We'll take a break. More as we approach halfway here at Motegi.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Colin Weatherholt continues to be up in front of that Toyota number 11. He won stage 1. Kerry Tribune back in second. Jonathan Cofield third in the 58. The 24 Brady LaBeouf season 2 champion back in fourth. We got one Toyota, 3 Chevrolets, another Toyota of Adam Newton. Your top 5. Then it's going to be Jacob Reeves, Tyler Dittmer, Nate Maurer, Phil Pappas, and Bo Tiffany. And that's the way it stands right now. Welcome back to our coverage of the Blanchard's Towing 200 at the Mobility Resort Motegi, formerly known as Twin Ring Motegi. I'm Wesley Outland, Stephen Bartlett, the Viking alongside. We are heading into the final 12 laps of stage number 2, presented by the Glass Mechanic, and much more exciting racing than the first stage, no doubt, Stephen.
Yes, so far it has been. These guys, they're all trying to get them points, as many points as they can at the end of the stage. And so they're already starting to get a little aggressive because they know it's hard to pass on this track, especially the longer this the green flag run is, the more spread out they get.
So they'll make their way down the back straightaway. Weatherholt on the inside, Tribune on the outside. This will be, again, a restart after our 5th caution. Fire, Water Cleanup, and Restoration, Serve Pro, our official caution sponsor. We are in Glass Mechanic stage number 2. And right now, Weatherholt is looking to try to sweep the stages here for the first ever visit of NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series at Mobility Resort Motegi, formerly known as Twin Wing Motegi. Here comes the pace truck diving onto the pit lane. Here they come back to the restart zone. Green flag is out, and it's going to be Weatherholt with a big launch on the inside. He'll power away from Tribune. Tribune has to scamper back to the back end of the tailgate of the leader. He's got Cofield on his bottom, and they're door-to-door into 2.
And right behind him is Brady LaBeouf, Adam Newton, Jacob Reeves, and Tyler Dittmer fighting for that 6th spot as they're coming out into the backstretch and getting ready to go into turn 3.
Working the backstretch into that 3rd turn. We talked about how tight turns 3 and 4 is compared to turns 1 and 2, trying to get around this racetrack as they come back down to the line.
Coming out of turn 2, Colin Weatherholt now almost a half a second lead over Tribune. Jonathan Cofield, Brady LaBeouf, Adam Newton, the top 5, followed by Jacob Reeves, Tyler Dittmer, Phil Pappas, Nate Maurer, Joey Stiers going into turn 3, coming out of 4th.
Working off the corner. There goes now Reeves on the inside. Look at now Cofield, Tribune, side by side for 2nd in the final, under 10 remaining of stage number 2. Look at the 7 powering on to the backstretch down to the inside, trying to make a run on the 58, the Mumford, Alabama driver. Jonathan Cofield, though, holding his mark, stays right there in line. Tribune right there behind him from Orange, California. And we're single file now. Closing in on 8 laps to go now in stage 2, presented by Glass Mechanic. And they're getting Nancy up in front as Dittmer pulls a power move on Reeves behind him in 1 and 2.
Seems like this stage is going quite a bit faster than the last one.
And it certainly has gone by very quickly. Jacob Reeves now way off the pace, though. There could be a problem on the 57. He keeps on going. Will stay green. Well, boy, Jacob Reeves way off the pace on the bottom of the racetrack as he tries to get back up to speed again here, Stephen.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he got loose, and that's why he's falling back. Of course, we couldn't see it because he was back there, but we were focused on the front at the time. As Weatherholt getting ready to go into turn 3 now with 0.8 of a second lead.
Down the front straightaway again. 5 laps to go now. At the line. working off the corner down the front stretch. They'll come to the line. Because right now we see Jacob Reeves battling alongside Pappas. Pappas in the green 88, then the 971 of Nate Maurer. Maurer up on the outside. Here comes now Stiers to follow as they work their way off the turn off 4. Here they come straight away now. Got a big battle going on for that spot. All this happening right there in the top 10. Meanwhile, Weatherholt running away with it with 5 laps to go. Well, I'll tell you what, Steven, look at the 11, man. It just seems like, even though we've never ran at this track before, this guy looks like he's a veteran here, man. Nobody can catch the launch of the 11 truck.
You know, and we've seen that a lot this season where Weatherholt or Weatherbolt, as some of the spectators on YouTube like to call him, is he's just untouchable this season. How many wins has he had? Like 8 or something like that? I don't recall, but it's been a lot.
Four laps to go now in the stage. By the way, we're also just after the halfway mark of this race. Lap 65 would be halfway of 130. Working off the corner. Here he comes out of the line. Look at that. Highline Racing number 11. Weatherholt, or Thunderbolt, as our producer, Mr. Dean Hopton, calls him. Up in front, looking good. The 11. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is able to battle. Here comes on the inside Newton. Newton and now LaBeouf side by side. This goes on with Tyler Dittmer watching on as they thunder in the turn 3.
Dittmer on the outside behind LaBeouf. Comes down to the inside. Looks like he was going to try and get his nose up underneath Newton, but just couldn't quite do it. As Brady holds on to that third spot. Where's he at? Nope, he's in 5th now. Bouncing back to that 4th and 5th stop with Adam Newton.
So Weatherholt continues to stay up in this top position now. As look at them working their way off the corner. This is the 11 leading. There's, of course, everyone behind them. And this is now 2 to go in stage number 2. Weatherholt still continuing to stay up in front as they hit the back straightaway. There's that 11 for Highline Racing, the Toyota. Well, I tell you what, I know Jason Morellas and company have got to be happy to see what Highline Racing's been doing this year, especially this driver, as Colin Weatherholt works his number 11 Toyota off the corner. Here he comes down to the line. This will be the final lap of stage number 2 here. We're a lap off. You're a lap off. They got to get this last lap out of the way, and then there it is. As the stage is over, Colin Weatherholt is going to lock up stage number 1 and stage number 2. Colin Weatherholt, Highline Racing, number 11. This guy looks like he has been having seat time on this track for years, Stephen Bartlett.
Yeah, Weatherholt's just unstoppable right now. These other guys are going to have to figure out a new strategy to catch him and get past him if they want to win this race. But right now, Weatherholt's got the advantage for sure.
Another impressive run for the drivers of Highline Racing. Colin Weatherholt will bring him into the broadcast booth here in just a moment, as he does have to prepare to get ready to come down pit road and make pit stops as they'll catch the pace truck very quickly. Colin, what a phenomenal job, buddy. What a good job. Stage 1 and stage 2. You are literally electric out here at Motegi.
Yeah, thanks, Wesley. It's a pretty fun track. It's a little technical, more technical than you'd really think maybe, but it's a lot of fun. Shifting in 3 and 4. We're hanging the right rear out, that's for sure.
So I made the comment about, like, literally this has been a first time for Nazareth Racing here. How much seat time do you have with this racetrack? Like, how much practice have you had I mean, it looks like you're a veteran on this place, dude.
Before this week, I'd never run a stock car around here, so it's definitely interesting.
There you go. Well, thanks for your time,
I got a
Colin
question.
Weatherholt. Go ahead, Stephen. I know they're coming down pit road. Let him make his adjustments, Colin.
Yeah.
We'll let you make your adjustments real quick, and then Stephen will toss it back to him. I know he's got to get on the steering wheel and make changes and whatnot, whatever it is he's going to do. What are you going to do? Do you need to tie it up, free up, or are you happy with the 11 the way it is, Colin?
I'm really happy with it so far. Yeah,
we'll
just
probably
taking
say
4
not
tires and
take
gas,
anything.
and yeah, we're gonna try to just take it to the end from here, hopefully.
There you go. All right.
One more stop.
I think he's got his buttons decided, Stephen. So what you got for the 11, buddy?
Hey, Colin, before the race, I did some research on this track, and it's modeled after Darlington. How does it compare to Darlington?
I compare it more to Gateway, to be honest. It's just with the shifting involved and relatively lower banking. It's definitely feels a little bit more like Gateway, egg-shaped, and both the corners kind of drive the same, in my opinion.
There you go. So Gateway, and that's a track that is also very unique in comparison too. So there was something different than what we thought. So Colin, thanks for your time, man. We're going to go to break, everybody. Colin Weatherholt, the Monticello, Indiana driver, not only wins stage 1, but Glass Mechanics stage 2. And he's coming out here to try to lock himself in to the championship round at Homestead tonight. And we'll be back for stage 3 in just a second.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Welcome back to, of course, the Mobility Resort Motegi. Stage 1 done, stage 2 done. We now move into stage number 3. It's going to go to lap number 130. There is 65 laps to go. Welcome back. I'm Wesley Outlet, Stephen Bartlett alongside the Viking. Biggles Dean Hopton, Pip Cherio. He is right there amongst everything on production. And these drivers now, Stephen, prepare to go for the home stretch here at this race. Who is going to go to the championship final at Homestead? We're going to find out as we go to green.
Brian Chu, the leader now, I don't think he'll stay there very long. He didn't pit with everybody else. Colin Weatherholt working it on his outside, coming into out of turn 2 now with Jonathan Cofield right behind Weatherholt.
Working into turn number 3. Now look at this battle. This is now Brian Chu getting around Cofield. Cofield, the Mumford, Alabama driver to the inside. 58 and 51 battle door to door. The 11 is already gone by a half a second, going to 1.
And Cofield completes the pass on Brian Chu. Brady LaBeouf has got Chu in his targets right now, trying to catch him to get past him. Chu goes up to the outside, LaBeouf right behind him.
And they work into the corner again. Look at this now. Almost stride for stride. 2 and 3 wide. Look at Maurer. Couple of DSR electric battlers. There's Maurer. There's Stiers. They're going at it on the inside. Yep, here comes another buddy. There's Stephen Thomas. DSR electric going at it. Drivers for this position here. This is for 11th, 12th, or 10th, 11th, and 12th going on into 1 and 2.
Weatherholt now out to about a 7/10 lead over Jonathan Cofield. Adam Newton now getting ready to pass Brian Chu with the 88 of Pappas. Next, Jacob Reeves right behind Pappas getting ready, and we got a caution out.
Yellow flag waves again. Here is another look at another caution as we look like it's, man, I'm not sure. It doesn't show it. 33 is really, really slow in the back of the pack. I wonder if something might have happened to Jeffrey Johnson, the Columbus, Indiana driver. Let's see if we can get a replay on his Ford. I think something happened to him. Number 33, and oh, it's up ahead. Wait a minute, up ahead. There it is. You know what? I just think somebody spun the tires and smoked the tires, if you will, Steven. I don't see anybody spinning out.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. Somebody just probably got loose, and we'll have to see if we can get a better angle here.
A couple of trucks.
Oh, that's farther ahead of that.
It's up ahead of him. It's Bo Tiffany. Bo Tiffany. Bo Tiffany.
Yeah, Bo Tiffany.
Yeah, let's see what happened to Bo Tiffany here. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
And he did a great job. He did a great job of recovering before we finally caught it, but a great work by our camera crew to quickly find this. Look at this. Bonsai's alongside with Nate Maurer, and look at that right there. A little side draft. Contact made. Around goes Tiffany in 53. And by the time he spins and does a 360, then he gets right back in the gas. Oh, unbelievable there. I give that a perfect 7-10 split.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised the caution came out on that. I mean, yeah, he did get sideways, but looks like Tiffany went up, got into that other truck, and tried to avoid him and overcorrected down to the left, and that's what spun him, I believe. I wouldn't have to. I'd have to actually see from inside the cockpit if that was the case.
What an amazing save by Bo Tiffany, the driver originally from Corning, New York, now resides in Mebane or Graham, North Carolina, off of I-85. And there's the 53 Ford. What a save, man. That has got to be probably, in my opinion, not only save of the night, but maybe even save of the year for the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series. I mean, he literally could have turned right back into the pack. He could have got more damage than what he did, and I don't even think he got any damage. Look at this. He just literally spins the truck out. Look at him working down the back straightaway. We're going to go a little bit extended here. This is on board with Bo Tiffany. Into Maurer into Tiffany. Tiffany spins. Oh, you know what? And then look at him. He gets right back in the gas and keeps on going.
It was the contact that caused it. I thought maybe he tried to avoid hitting him and jerked the wheel to the left, but no, there was actual contact.
So Would you call the caution on Nate Maurer, Steven?
That's kind of hard to say. I would probably give that a racing incident. Just the way they acted, they weren't trying to get into each other, I don't think.
Another yellow flag. Caution is out. We'll take a break, make more coverage, and 7th yellow, presented by Surf Pro, rolls into stage 3 as we're on lap number 80. Caution lights off on the pace truck. We'll get ready for a restart. That wraps up our 7th Surf Pro caution, 82 of 130 laps. And we welcome you back to our coverage. I'm Wesley Outlet, Stephen Bartlett alongside Weatherholt and Cofield going to make up the front row as we'll get ready to go back for a green flag. Don't forget, join us tomorrow night, Blanchard's Tow and Xfinity Series, the NASRA Cup Series, Wednesday nights. Big thanks to TLC Incorporated and Premier Racing Setups. Goat Locker Racing Thursdays with Arca Thunder, and the C.O.P.S Truck Series NASRA playoffs on Friday. All of that for the week ahead. Don't forget about the Black Friday 350 from Talladega on Black Friday after Thanksgiving. We're back to green.
Colin Weatherholt, like he's done all night, jumps out to that big lead. Jonathan Cofield up above, Brady LaBeouf fighting for second spot, and Tyler Ditmore right behind them with Tribune there also.
Closing in on the home stretch of this one is right now. We watch these drivers work their way into the corner. Weatherholt still up in front. You've got Cofield to second. Brady LaBeouf in third. Again, watching all of this happen. Remember, playoffs are on the line. If you win, you go to the championship 6. And that's exactly what Weatherholt is trying to do. Something different in years past. Only 4 drivers race for the championship. Steven, we're going to have 6 guys battle for the title coming up in 3 weeks at, of course, Homestead.
And I was so happy to see my favorite Xfinity driver win the Xfinity Championship Saturday night. Justin Allgaier,
yeah.
I wish,
great guy, man.
I wish he would go to the Cup Series, but he doesn't want to. He wants to stay in Xfinity.
So deserving of the opportunity to finally be able to be a NASCAR Xfinity Series winner. And by the way, I got to say, big
48 goes around.
My buddy, as Robert Richards is in trouble on the bottom of the racetrack. No caution called as he gets right back up to speed, gets back on the racetrack. I got to give also props to my buddy, 3-time Snowball Derby winner, Ty Majeski. My buddy Ty Majeski in ThorSport has got the win of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Came so close to winning it the last couple of years. Finally was able to seal the deal at Homestead, Miami this past Friday night. What a race it was for sure. Definitely. Yeah.
And then, of course, Joey Logano takes the Cup Series championship Sunday night at Phoenix. His third.
Yeah, I've got some mixed feelings about that. I'm not going to lie to you.
I do too. Honestly,
I'm not on board with it. Just just being honest. I mean, I know he did what he had to do, and that the way it is what it is, but I just don't like the way that he won it this year. I just don't. Anyhow, the race rolls on here, working the home stretch of this one with now 43 laps to go. Colin Weatherholt is up in front. He leads the way. Jonathan Cofield is second. Freddie LaBeouf is third. Kerry Tribute, Tyler Dittmer, top 5 as they hit the back straightaway into the corner. And look at Harris, by the way. Remember the problems Harris had earlier? Trying to slowly but surely pick up the pieces and climb into the top 10. Here comes the truck number 87. Harris inside, battles now with Stiers. Maurer watching along. This is, of course, another battle taking place to the back straightaway. We're working now, closing in on lap number 90 of this race. We got another truck up in smoke up ahead. Boy, I keep seeing that a lot, Stephen, where drivers are literally just spinning tires, working off the exit of the corner, and you think you got a wreck up ahead, but you don't.
Yeah, they've done a real good job of saving their trucks when they do start to go around like that. And we've seen several of them. That one was out of turn 4. We've seen several coming out of turn 2. Just too much gas before they get straightened out.
Don't forget, next Monday night, we're off for the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series. We're off next Monday. Then we come back to Talladega, and then the home stretch of the final 3 races of the season. And that leads us up to Homestead, Miami for the championship finale. And yes, the championship is on the line. I love the fact that we're racing at Homestead. I like that racetrack, Stephen. I just like Homestead Miami Speedway. I really do.
Yeah, I do too, especially for the championship. I kind of wish NASCAR would go back to Homestead for the Xfinity and Cup Series. To me, that's where it should be.
Yeah, in my opinion, go back to either Homestead or back to Atlanta. That's back in when I was young, Atlanta was the championship race. Atlanta Motor Speedway, that's where it was, But I got a feeling in the future you might see that happen again, going back again in the future, hopefully. There's Andrew Harris, by the way. We mentioned what happened to him earlier. Possibly some history between him and Stephen Gregory. According to somebody, they said Gregory or Harris cost Stephen Gregory maybe a win a couple of weeks ago, Stephen, and there was a little payback in what happened between those drivers on the racetrack earlier tonight.
Yeah, I don't like to see that, even though, it was a payback type of deal. Just race it clean, guys. I mean, that's the past is the past. You can't fix it. We see all 6 now drivers, the top 6 drivers in the playoffs now are all in the top 10. LaBeouf is the only driver in the red on the bubble, still sitting there in 3rd.
On board with Harris, you see on the bottom. Trying to make his move now on Stephen Thomas. On the inside. By the way, we're approaching under 40 laps to go now. It's actually 37 remaining. 37 to go down the back straightaway as they continue to race on. This is the finish of the race. Again, we'll go to lap 130. There is overtime, 3 attempts at overtime if need be.
I'm watching the leaderboard now. Jonathan Cofield is slowly catching up to Weatherholt. Does Cofield have enough to get by him?
By the way, I think somebody messed up on the day and the night graphic because it is daytime here at Twin Ring Motegi or at Mobility Resort Motegi. It is still daytime. And obviously, that's different than what nighttime conditions would provide also, Stephen.
Yeah, I don't see any lights on this track, so I think they're kind of restricted to the day.
Yeah, it's a daytime race. 14:55. What is that? 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's
Yeah,
not. Yeah,
2:55.
yeah, it's still daylight. So I am not a fan of military time. I can't stand military time. I like 1 through 12, 1 through 12. So I'm sorry, I don't pick up a weapon and stand a post and get up at 0500. Thanks to those that do, but that's just not my cup of tea. Somebody tells me 2,200 hours, I'll be like, huh? You mean 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock?
Wesley, I was going to ask you at 5 o'clock in the morning and come in for the donation for the 23. By the way, just to let everybody know, Jimmy Broadbent is very popular YouTube iRacer and Real Racer as well too now, from iRacing essentially going to the real world. Raised £100,000 on the weekend for the 23-hour race for mental health event, the 6th event that they've done that, which is $250,000. So hats off to everybody that contributed to that. It was huge. And I was with another network behind the scenes of broadcasting and doing all that sort of stuff. So yeah, Max Verstappen, and a lot of other celebrities were racing in that one for.
And if anybody doesn't know who Max Verstappen is, it's probably one of the greatest Formula One drivers of all time.
And the IndyCar driver I told you about as well was part of it.
Yes, Tony Kanaan. Tony Kanaan, retired IndyCar driver, by the way. He doesn't run IndyCar.
iRacing driver now.
Yeah, gotta love it. No, but that's really cool, though, Stephen, that they can do something like that and use the iRacing platform. And even though it's not a real racing event like Real Racing where we raise money for a lot of people, but it's iRacing virtually, and they're still able to raise $250,000 to help people. And yes, I am a firm believer that mental illness does need to be taken care of. There are people that need help, and I think sometimes it gets overlooked and bypassed, Stephen, for sure.
Yeah, the point was as well, too, just really quick, I'll try before I let you back in the booth, that it's about to let everybody know that, hey, just call somebody, reach out. There's a service out there. So you have a chat to them and say, look, I'm too afraid to talk to my mates about it, my friends about it, or my family about it because, but it's work related, or it could even be related to something, have you struggling with your family and your brothers and sisters and stuff. Reach out and talk to somebody else. They're there for you. And that's what these services provide. That's why we're looking at raising money for them. Back to you guys.
Yeah, I agree. Stephen, what were you saying, buddy?
Yeah, mental health is a big issue in this country. It's especially for veterans. Veterans are having a real hard time trying to get the care that they need through the VA. They just don't have the doctors to help them. And that is a big reason my real-world sponsor on my cars is TilVahalaProject.com. All proceeds go to veteran suicide awareness, where on average 22 veterans a day commit suicide.
Yeah. And by the way, if you are out there and, we mentioned again to help spread awareness, if you are out there and you feel like you have nobody to talk to, or, like you said, you don't want to talk to your better half or your friends, or you feel hopeless, there's somebody out there, and I am a firm supporter of the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. I support it. I promote it. I back it. And I tell you right now, if there's somebody out there that is feeling that they're at the end of their rope, before you jump off and make that final life-altering decision that there's no coming back from, definitely find help. You can literally hit pound 988 on your phone across the world. You can contact the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline Center, and literally somebody can help you with your mental health issues. And sometimes, and I'll be honest with you, Stephen and Dean, we all have things that go on in our lives. We all have things that make us break down. There's nothing wrong with getting help. There's nothing wrong with being a man or a woman or crying and needing to talk to somebody. And I'll tell you this as well. You're not going to worry about getting put in the straitjackets or thrown in the loony bin unless you do something really, really crazy, drastic. There's people that are just might be having a bad day, Stephen, and they need to talk to somebody. And they might feel like there's nobody there for them, but let them know that there is. But hell, call my phone. 919-618-9286. I'll put it out publicly. Before you even think about taking a step off that ledge, call me. I don't care if it's 5 o'clock in the morning or 0500 or 2200 or whatever it is, military time. Stephen, and I'm sure you'll do the same thing. Reach out to somebody before you do the ultimate the ultimate decision.
And it's
for sure.
everybody, as you mentioned.
I
Like
love it. I
we're
love
talking
it.
about
Yeah.
everybody. We all go through it. And then something gets a little worse. I mean, we look at all the great people we've lost as well too.
That's
like,
right.
Like comedians and stuff like that. Like
One of my announcing colleagues,
favorite-
my mentor, somebody I really look up to, Rick Eshelman from the World of Outlaws. He killed himself on my birthday in 2022. And every year on my birthday, not only do you celebrate my day of life, Stephen, but it is also a yearly reminder of how much that I miss my friend Rick Eshelman and how much I wish that I could have talked to him or others could have talked to him. And, I can tell you this, the 2 or 3 days before he took his own life, I didn't even know that anything was wrong when I spoke to him on the phone.
No, and it's sad because a lot of them don't express what's happening, and they don't reach out. And for the veteran crisis line, 1-800-273-8255, press 1. By text, 838-255, and through chat, veteranscrisisline.net/chat.
Oh, that's a good one, actually, the chat, I think, guys, because some people don't want to talk to anybody on the phone, and just if you're more anonymous, if you do it on chat, that's actually not bad as well, too. So, once again, I think a lot of people are just a little bit scared. Mr. Williams, remember, the comedian, famous comedian.
Oh, yeah, Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. Now, you would have thought he's like got one of the happiest people on the planet, right? Because he brings so much joy to people. Deep inside, he was not a happy man. Caution.
Yeah. And we have a caution on the racetrack. Yellow flag will come out with 25 laps to go, and there is Kaufman with an issue on the back straightaway. Truck number 25. Here's a Pulse Poppers instant replay. I saw that, I would love to see Nazareth do some kind of a special event for mental health awareness. I think that would be cool. I know we've done some charity races before. Obviously, I know we're doing something for Thanksgiving. The Thanksgiving, what is it? The Black Friday 350 at Talladega truck race. Stephen, I think you're racing that race, aren't you? Aren't you racing in it?
I had planned on it, and then after I signed up, 3 hours later, my steering wheel decided not to work anymore. So I'm waiting on money at the end of the month to get a new base.
Can't get it fixed? How much does it cost for a steering wheel?
I can get a new base for $329, Thrustmaster E300, and that's one of the cheaper ones.
Expensive business, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and that's one of the cheaper ones. I mean, they go up as high as $1,000.
Oh yeah, some people, you see Chris Blanchard and what he's got in his motion rig as well too. Like that rig is $10,000 easy.
Yeah, those motion rigs, I've seen them as high as $70,000.
Going back to a charity, like once again, the broadcast network, we did it all that time. That's all 100% free on our behalf. That was 23 hours as well, on top of it, of different shifts of about a crew of 6 or so, something like that, as well as all the race control, everybody else. So absolutely, I'm totally behind supporting any charity event that everybody would like to get above and beyond and behind.
Yeah, I'm definitely for it. I think it would be awesome to do it, so for sure.
Taylor Peacock comes out on pit road first, gentlemen, so he is now in the lead of this race.
I was just thinking I'll try to contact the Tilbahala Project guys and have them set up a shoot, I just lost the word.
A charity
PayPal
page or something, right?
Set them out set up a PayPal and
you can use some of those charity Just Giving. I think is one of them. There's quite a few out there that are legitimate organisations that make sure that the funds go to the correct charity organisations. Taylor Peacock's going back down to pit road again, gentlemen, and will yield that lead to Colin Weatherholt. Yes, he will. That was strange. He was just in there a lap
Taylor
ago.
Peacock on the pit lane. Yep, there's this 81 Chevrolet. So
23 to go.
Let's find out what's going on in Jacob Reeves' life, where I got to fill in for him on a damn Thursday night. Okay, let's find out what's going on with the redneck announcer and see where he's going. Maybe he's going into hiding. Maybe he's going to be a new member of the Trump squad, I guess. Jacob, where aren't you going to be working this weekend? Where are you off to?
Well, I thought I was supposed to be working, but I think we're actually going down south. There's supposed to be some flooding going on, so we're heading down there. Supposed to be heading down there tomorrow. So unfortunately, I will miss out on Xfinity Talladega tomorrow night. So my feelings are a little bit hurt about that one.
I mean, you could get like a Discord and put it in your, there's guys that I know, like I remember, what was his name? Nick Hoffman, but modified late model buddy of mine. He ran iRacing. He put an iRacing rig inside of his damn race hauler, toter trailer. And he ran down the road doing iRacing. So maybe we could do something like that for you, Jacob, one day.
Yeah, I mean, maybe with some of the trailers with all the chainsaws and all that good stuff in it, maybe we can get myself hooked up on that one. I don't know how it'd work out. Probably have to hotspot it off my phone. That'd be the only way to do it. But it'd be nice to try that one day.
Get you Starlink, right? Yeah, get you some Starlink, some satellite internet.
Yeah, we get all we can get, I guess.
What's your take of this race so far, Jacob?
Pretty good. I'll be honest with you. We really wouldn't. Yeah. To be honest with you, I really do. We ran the clash here last season, and started up front and ended up getting a podium finish right there at the line. So I like this place. Right off the bat, I didn't know what to expect here tonight, but truck feels good, and I didn't want to see that caution. I felt like I probably would have been able to make it on fuel, but re-rack them, restack them, and probably have some NASCAR chaos right here.
Steven, he took your word.
I know. I was just going to say when the green flag came out, it's NASCAR chaos time.
Always is right here. With about 20 to go. It usually is.
NASCAR chaos. So I'm filling in for you Thursday. Who's going to be on the call for you Friday, Jacob?
I have absolutely no idea. Maybe old Dean will be able to go up there. Maybe he can do a little co-commentating like he does on Thursdays. That'd be pretty cool.
So that might be Stephen Bartlett and Dean again, and I'll be working with Dean on Thursday for Goat Locker Racing Arc of Thunder. All right, Jacob, give him a hail, man. Thanks for your time.
Yes, sir. We're going to try. Appreciate y'all.
Keep those boots tightened up in that floodwaters, and thanks for all that you do.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
Go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mission 1 Esports driver, and that's Jacob Reeves as we go back to the green flag. 21 laps to go, and Stephen Bartlett, he stole your word. NASCAR chaos time. Do you think it's going to happen?
It's going on 20 to go. It's going to happen. Hopefully I'm wrong, but
yeah. Hopefully you're wrong. Hopefully you're wrong. It doesn't happen, right? I mean, we hope it doesn't happen, but it does look like it is. And it's something might happen right here.
Something might happen back here because this is a dingo's cave and a hornet's nest.
Look at this, thundering off turn 4. By the way, they're coming to the line.
Yeah,
it is the premier race.
Oh, there they go.
Run straight away.
Justin White and Bo.
Man. You called it, Dean, and it did. It broke loose off 4. Caution's out, by the way.
That's busted up the 17, gentlemen.
He's
Brandon
done.
Bullock.
Brandon Bullock is done for the night.
And Robert
Justin White, Brandon Bullock,
Yeah.
Robert Richards, I believe, got another piece of it again as well. Justin White, there you see his 2 limping away from the incident. And the caution out for the 9th time. We're also at the Premier Racing Setups, 20 to go. Big thanks to Premier Racing Setups as we'll go side by side for just a moment. Of course, we're excited to have them as a part of the NASCAR racing family.
Replay first.
We're going to take a look at the replay first here, presented by Pulse Poppers, and then we'll set up with the Premier Racing Setups 20 to go. Look at this. Justin White just lost it. We saw it several other times. This time he couldn't correct. And then some other guys went 3 wide and ran Bullock down to the bottom of the racetrack and crashed the 17. And then the 48 and then the 6. Lester and Richards and others like Lions, Tigers, and Bears. Look at Lester turned into Brian Chew.
And the 17 got hit. Guys trying to avoid the truck up there on the top. And then 17 just went head on into that inside wall. That had to hurt.
6-2, wasn't it, gentlemen? Yeah, Fred Lester. Let's have a look. Look at
There's a look at it again.
6. It gets tagged.
Look at Justin White. Look at Lester. Lester came back down. That's when those 3 wide trucks pushed Bullock into the fence.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of others. Wow. Man, oh man.
From Bullock goes into the fence here hard too.
Another angle of it
Bang.
again. Look at that. That's the 0-4 of Adam Newbert. Adam tried to go squeeze in 3 wide for a sandwich, and there wasn't no peanut butter and jelly to go in the middle, and he forced it through and then crashed everyone in the process again. Wow.
And the 48 hit him on top of it, gentlemen. So that's the Nazareth big one. I need some graphics there for you there, Stevie, for the Nazareth Chaos overlay.
Get
So
ready
where is
Nazareth
Goat Locker?
Chaos.
Where is Goat Locker at Thursday night, Wes?
Wes doesn't
Oh, the hell
do
if
the
I know,
go.
dude.
Wes
I'm
doesn't
just
do
coming
the
in
go.
there to call a race. I don't. You're asking me something I don't know. And
Oh, I thought you were doing Thursday.
No,
I am doing Thursday, but I don't follow the series. I don't know it. I don't know it like the way.
Oh,
Dean,
okay.
where
I'll
they
go
at?
find out.
I can't honestly at the moment can't tell you off the top of my head because I do 3 broadcasts
I'll
a day.
find out.
So
I'll
I
find out.
generally do my
Just give me a
research a
minute.
little bit ahead. I apologize about that, everybody.
I got him right here.
When you do 3 a week a day, you lose your head on what's
They were
going
at
on.
Kentucky
Goat
Speedway.
Locker Racing's going to be at. They're going to be at Kentucky. Yep, that's the week ahead. Kentucky on Thursday. By the way, tomorrow night. I know the Xfinity Series tomorrow night. We're going to be. Where are we going to be at tomorrow night? Talladega tomorrow night for the Blanchard Show and Xfinity Series. And then, of course, the NASCAR Cup Series will be at Pocono on Wednesday. Thursday, we are at, again, Kentucky, as Steven said, and the playoffs for the C.O.P.S Truck Series at Atlanta. There you go.
I think since I don't have a steering wheel and I can't race Thursday nights, I just might join you guys this week up in the booth at Kentucky.
There you go.
Always
All right.
welcome. Yeah.
Goat Locker Racing, that is, of course, another sanctioning league that Nazareth gets to broadcast their events, and the ARCA Series presented by Veterans for Life, and that will be the big race at Kentucky on.
So many charities, gentlemen, isn't there? Which is fantastic in this and what Nazareth gets behind. Of course, Premier Racing Setups right there, as you'd mentioned there, Wesley, with the 20 to go Premier Racing Setups. But isn't it just fantastic that a lot of these organizations, like Concerns of Police Survivors, of course, the Veterans for Life Foundation, it's not about the coin when it comes to Nazareth. It's about the community.
That's exactly right. Under 20 to go, by the way. 17 remaining, 16 to go when they come back to the Geico restart zone. By the way, we mentioned Premier Racing Setups. You saw the ad on the side-by-side, and I was distracted on something else. But again, I want to thank Premier Racing Setups. Everything from dirt, pavement, late models, modifieds, NASCAR, wing cars, you name it. They've got you covered. On Nazareth as well. Mention Nazareth as a promo code in checkout. Get 15% off. And in addition to that, the folks at Premier Racing Setups will then give another 15% back towards Nazareth. They'll put the money back in our pocket. So we definitely do appreciate that. And let me clarify, money in Nazareth's pocket, not our pocket as far as the broadcast, but back in the money for Nazareth. And that allows us to be able to continue to do what we're doing.
Have a look at this, gentlemen. If you see behind the hot lap, the number 4, these are the pit stops. Is that Yoda with somebody else's picture on it? Do you see that there in the pit board?
That is Yoda.
Looks like Yoda with a different face.
But who's the
Yoda
face?
with a different face.
Yoda with somebody's face on it. Who the hell is that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
let us know in chat, right? I mean, that's something
Who
that
is
we would
that?
like to know. I mean, because I can't zoom in on it, unfortunately, and I don't quite know whose pit box that is, because it doesn't have the racing number. But it's obviously around the number 4, and we know that's Tyler Dittmer's position. So we have to go back and look at where they kind of where they started the race on. That's qualifying positions, gentlemen.
Looks like that's the pit stall for the 04 or 34 as we have it in our leaderboard.
That's the pit stall for Adam Newbert, guys. That's the pit stall for Adam Newbert. So Adam Newbert is Baby Yoda. Go figure. I love it. Let's go back to green. Scary as it may be. 15 to go at Motegi. We're going to go 3 wide for the lead into 1.
Weatherholt out front, followed closely by Jonathan Cofield and Brady LaBeouf. Brady LaBeouf is trying to get that win so he can get himself locked in and out of that bubble. But Colin Weatherholt just been too strong tonight. He's already at almost a quarter of a second lead over Cofield.
back straightaway off turn 3, off that short winding 3 and 4, 10 degrees of banking. Here they come off of turn 4, back down to the line. It is now 14 laps to go, and it is Blanchard's towing 200 and Nazareth chaos time. As Steven mentioned, Weatherholt trying to sweep the stages and go to the championship finale at Homestead off 2.
Got a battle for 4th and 5th, it looks like, between Tyler Dittmer and Adam Newton. Dittmer on the inside coming into turn 3. Newton on the outside, keeping his lead for now. Newton just can't quite get past him.
Awesome camera angles from the far pan-away view of the track. Into turn number 1 and 2. Looking down, Newton diving to the inside. That's going to be Dittmer right behind him in the 4. Toyota number 4 out of originally Gore, Virginia. Now in
Jacob's defense.
Reeves. In the wall. Jacob Reeves smacked the wall. Kerry Tribune behind him. So is Pappas, and they all scatter to get away from one another. And now they get back in alignment again on side by side in 3.
And Harris and right there with them all also. It's getting a little sketchy back here in that 6th, 7th, and 8th spot, 9th spot.
On board, Andrew Harris, bottom right. Do you see the number 87? He is up to 8th now. Trying to go for 2 for 1 on the back straightaway, Steven. If he can pull it off.
Here comes Pappas trying to get on the inside of Harris now. Trying to take that spot away from him, that 8th spot. Reeves up there.
Feel the traffic behind, gentlemen. Look, it's not like the traffic in Japan, because it ain't that bad, actually, because you'd probably be on the train, the bullet train heading here at 300 miles per hour, which is what the bullet trains run through. You can get, well, you probably anywhere in Japan in about an hour and change with those train systems. But can you get around this track with 11 to go? With another
they're talking about building a bullet train in America.
Yeah, I know that should. That'd be actually fantastic. Hopefully, it does end up going on.
Seattle to Eugene.
Yeah. U.S. road projects like that would bring a lot of jobs for employment. So I'm all 100% for it as a foreigner. Who's going a little wiggly jiggly in the background? And what is it again? And what's the trademark there, Wesley?
A little wiggle and a jiggle and a giggle and a bobble. There you go.
That bullet train will be nice.
We're doing right. 10 to go, by the way. You were saying, Steve?
That bullet train will be nice. I'm here in Eugene, and I've got my kids up there in Washington State. It'll only take about an hour to get to Seattle, hour and a half, something like that.
Yeah.
And as I said, like the amount of jobs it brings for building a big project like that is
for
amazing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Underground bullet train, man, right? Under the ground, rock, shake the earth. 9 to go, by the way, here at Motegi, or Motegi. It used to be called Twin Ring Motegi. Now it's known as Mobility Resort Motegi.
Is there actually a resort there, I'd imagine, nearby the track?
Motegi. Yeah, it is a resort. It's a resort, yeah. Beautiful racetrack.
How much do you want to bet has a golf course nearby? Because if it's Japan and has a golf course, if there's any land, you slap a golf course on there.
Probably does. Yeah.
All right.
It probably does. By the way, who was the inaugural winner or the only winner for NASCAR Thunder Special at Motegi? Who was it? Do you know the winner? Do you remember who it was, Steven?
I do not.
Mike Skinner. So there were 3 races in Japan, right? Suzuka Thunder, remember, 96, 97, 98, as you mentioned. 96 was the first time at Suzuka Thunder. And it was Rusty Wallace who won that race. We got a caution out, 8 to go. 10th yellow flag out, 8 to go. And Chris Blanchard up against the fence. Ironically, in the Blanchards
I was going to say, Chris, this is your race.
Yes. So Suzuka Thunder, 96-97 was at Suzuka Thunder Resort, or Suzuka Thunder is what they call it, Suzuka Circuit. And Rusty Wallace won that race, the inaugural event. 1997, Mike Skinner won Suzuka. And yes, Stephen, in 98, the Coca-Cola 500, which was, by the way, not 500 laps or 500 miles. It was 500 kilometers. And look at Justin White getting some big hang time. Holy camole. Mike Skinner won the Coca-Cola 500. And if anybody remembers Mike Skinner, he was very close to Richard Childress Racing and a teammate to Dale Earnhardt Sr. There you go. And quick statistics, Stephen Bartlett. Those wins for Mike Skinner were his first NASCAR Cup Series wins. But they were non-points events, so it didn't count towards points. It's kind of sucked, don't it?
How many flips is that? Hey, that's interesting.
And I'm trying to find the date, but Nationwide ran at Motegi. I believe it was in '99. Scott Dixon won that.
Well, it wasn't the Nationwide or Xfinity series. It was the NASCAR K&N series. The NASCAR K&N series went at Motegi, and I believe it was 1999, as you said, the following year. And it was Kevin Richards that won that race. Yeah, it was the NASCAR K&N Pro West series. So, which is basically now what ARCA East, ARCA West is. That's what it was that they raced at. Yeah.
Somebody has a certain lady on that pit board.
But listen to this. Mike Skinner, as we mentioned, Mike Skinner has 2 wins, but they were non-points wins in Japan. He won Suzuka and he won Motegi, okay? But he did not get credited with NASCAR Cup Series points wins because they were not points events. So, you know, and if you look at what he did in the Truck Series, Stephen, if you remember Mike Skinner in the GM Goodwrench number 31, and then he moved into the Lowe's number 31, how impressive he was. And actually, correction, Mike Skinner was in the number 3 in the Truck Series. But he was really good.
So we have some information on that Yoda.
Yoda, is Adam Newbern in it?
Yeah, they call him Yobert. It's
oh, Jesus.
Yoda with Newbert's face. Yobert.
Oh, Yobert. Oh.
He has unfortunately retired from the race session, so I can't even show you his car anymore or anything like that related.
Did we see his pit wagon? At least the pit wagon, the pit side stays available, doesn't it?
No.
Yeah, there he is, right there.
Well,
no, he's
pretty
off the
far
track.
away. Yeah, he's gone.
So the pit sign leaves whenever they leave. That sucks.
I think so.
Anyhow, go back and rewind it. You can see it
we'll
again.
have a look because some drivers are heading into pit road right now, and that's Fred Lester and Justin White. So you'll see if they can see the pit boards.
Justin White had some big hang time, didn't he, Stephen? Oh, look at the one in the bikini. Who was that?
That's what I was telling you about before. If you get have a look at down here. No, it does. The pit boards leave. The pit crews just pack it up and they're out of there when the driver's retired. Wow, I didn't know that actually.
I mean, it's like, you know, the Princess, you're fired virtually.
Well, they're like, hey, we got to get on to the next race, right? It's a bit of a hurl to go back over the Pacific to head back to the States. So I guess they elect to pack up quickly and get on the next flight.
Speaking of the next flight, at least these guys will definitely enjoy a week off next week. I think somebody muffed on the schedule is what Brady said, Stephen, but they're going to stick with it, and we'll race Thanksgiving Monday night, or the week of Thanksgiving. Happy Turkey Murder Day to everybody as it's quickly approaching. Hey, by the way, before you put up the damn Christmas tree and all that stuff, cut the turkey first, okay? Or at least put the tree up before Thanksgiving. It just irks me, man. I am a grump, Stephen Bartlett, and the reason why I'm a damn Grinch when it comes to the holiday season is because the American society of our public make me that way. Right. You know, it's the day after Halloween, and there's damn Christmas tree and lights and music playing in your local supermarket. Yeah. I don't want to see that nonsense.
Hashtag
you know, let the turkey.
Wesley the Grump Outland. Okay, everybody.
You know,
hashtag Wesley the Grinch.
Wesley the Grinch.
And I'm the same way.
I did. I'll tell everybody that. Like, seriously. Oh.
I'm the same way. You know, Halloween's over. They start doing Christmas, and I'm like,
look at Steve. It looks like he's got a Viking Christmas apart, doesn't
it? Let's have Thanksgiving first, right? Cut the damn turkey. Cut the turkey and the dressing. If it was me, I'd put the damn Christmas tree up a week before Christmas, and that would be it.
Cut the
and it'd be
flag
down before New Year's, right? So let's go back to it again. 4 laps to go. Matter of fact, a lot of people need to find out what the true meaning of Christmas is anyway, because it ain't about big fat jolly man and tree presents
Right.
under a tree. Green flag back out. 3 laps to go, and it's time to settle it here in the Blanchard's 200. So, but no, man. Listen. I tell this to everybody. I like Thanksgiving better than Christmas because I just love to eat, and then I love to be with my family and friends and loved ones. And the holidays and Christmas is about presents and, oh, I didn't get this or I should have got that. And no, I don't. I'm just not for it. Back straight away. Weatherholt, listen to this. He is trying to sweep all 3 stages of this race here at Mobility Resort Motegi as they work their way off the corner. Here they come to the line here. Penultimate lap of the race, and they're 4 wide.
Wow.
With 2 to go, Stephen. Holy cow, how did they save from crashing it?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, you got a 44.
44 in the wall.
No, Thomas is wrecked.
Yep.
Can he keep rolling? He
Caution's
will
out.
not. We're going overtime.
Yeah, I was going to say, the way Colin Weatherholt's racing, in order for him to lose the race, he'll have to make a mistake. He's just too strong. Nobody can catch him tonight.
I mean, my goodness, this guy's in his own little world. Look at Stephen Thomas again. There's a replay. And is it Pappas? Yeah, man. Pappas got into him and never lifted off the left rear. Into the wall. Hard goes Thomas. Now up into the pack, into the wall. Bo Tiffany. Damn, he got lucky. Oh, how close was that? Oh, the humanity.
Oh, the humanity. Here we go.
Yes. Watch this again. Watch the yellow and black 53 of Bo Tiffany. He literally just squidged, if you will, Stephen. Squidged got through the 44. Look at this now as Pappas drives him into the wall. And look at this now. Look. Here he comes. Here he comes. Here he comes. Wow. What was that? A foot? Maybe a foot. He got lucky from not getting collected.
Yeah, I bet you, Tiffany say some words there.
It should be where Bo Tiffany
Yeah,
is.
And then a big relax afterwards.
Yeah, first you say it, then you do it.
Oh, we'll get back.
Here's
actually.
another look at it again. Speaking of Bo Tiffany.
Where? It should be around here, right, gentlemen? I'm just showing you the replay of where it went. I may daylight a little short on that one, perhaps.
Oh, my. Bo Tiffany.
Yeah, look, what's this?
How
Bo
lucky
Code Brown.
is this? Wow. How lucky was that you just went through, dude?
Oh man, that's pretty wild. I don't think as wild as your experience with the 4-cylinder bangers, but you know.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I'm trying. It's not been the night I'd hoped for, and you know, I spun myself trying not to get down in there, and it's just been a race.
What do you think of this track, though, man? I mean, do you like it?
Oh, I do. I mean, it's a good track. You got to race the track, and you know, it's playoffs. Patience are running thin with people, and you know, there's no give or take. I mean, it's the playoffs.
Obviously, Bo Tiffany, one of those drivers that are in the semifinal round, but are in the red by virtue of points. We'll get ready to see what he can do as he gets back. But what a save, though, man. What a good job to avoid that wreck. Good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
And Dragon Racing Esports driver there, Bo Tiffany. There's a look at the 10 drivers that have made it into the semifinal round. Harris, Pappas, Weatherholt, Thomas, Newton, Maurer. We mentioned Pappas had problems earlier, and Harris as well. Thomas just crashed, one of the playoff guys. Newton has had an issue, so has Maurer. Bo Tiffany literally just got lucky and missed that accident, by the way. He'll be firing back off with Bo Tiffany in 12th. Rameza is in 11th, I believe. Brady LaBeouf is up to 4th. Justin Lumpkin, I don't believe he's even here tonight. So, boy, these drivers, at least 8 out of the 10, Stephen, have had a eventful night.
Yes, they have. And if Tiffany can get back up there in these last 3 laps, probably won't happen, but this will help LaBeouf tremendously, possibly even getting out of that bubble. Of course, we won't see that. Probably won't see that in next week's results. It'll probably stay the same the way they have it right now. But if LaBeouf can squeak out a win, he's in for sure. but I think he might have enough points to move ahead and be safe.
Talladega, don't forget, coming up.
It's Dega. You got to do it in Jacob accent. Talladega. I can't do it.
Talladega, man, we got beef.
Talladega, we got beef. Hey,
that'll be a fun race. That'll be a fun race because anybody can win that race.
Yeah, it's a wild card. You got to love it.
Yeah, it is.
That was actually.
Speaking of Talladega,
that was actually one
forget,
thing, gentlemen. Give us your best dad jokes as well too, because that's something. What happens when two vegans get into an argument? Is there still beef?
I'm just not even dealing with you right now. Just
hey, look at that. That car looks nice, but the muffler seems exhausted.
Hey, by the way, don't forget, join us on Thanksgiving for the Thanksgiving Hangover 350. That is a special on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Friday night, November the 29th. It is the Thanksgiving Hangover 350 from Talladega. And again, hey, that is literally 4 days after the NASRA playoff race at Talladega on the 25th. So you've got Talladega 2 times in 1 week, Steven. Double your turkey, double your stuffing, double your cranberry sauce, your deviled eggs, and obviously double your iRacing at Talladega.
And double your white knuckle racing.
Yeah, there you go. Double your NASRA chaos, as you call it, right?
Wesley and Steve, with 3 to go, here's the man to beat, right? Here's Colin Weatherbolt, because of that bolt's unleashed. He's gone. There's Jonathan. Can he do anything on the outside just behind him? Go ahead. You go through the rest of that top. Let's say top 7 or 8 guys, because we're coming around the corner.
It's Weatherholt, Cofield up in the front, followed by Newton LaBeouf, Dittmer Tribune, followed by Reeves and Harris, and then Cinnamon and Pappas, top 10. Remember, they got to come to the white flag. If not, caution flag comes out. We'll re-rack and go again. If they do take the white flag and then they crash, they race to the checkers. And, of course, if they try for 2 attempts and the field is frozen, then the last flag will end the race in that 3rd attempt. But right now, we're going to try to finish it in 1 take. Weatherholt quickly out in front. Nobody around the high line racing. Number 11, Steven. He is gone to the back straightaway, heading to 3.
Which is no surprise. We've seen this all night long. Weatherholt on that green flag just gets so far out ahead of everybody they can't catch him. Not saying that Cofield isn't going to give up trying, but I just don't think it's possible. He's just too strong for that white flag.
White flag in the air. That's the Darren Snellgun repair. White flag. 1 more lap to go. The Monticello, Indiana driver for Highline Racing has had a monumental day here at Mobility Resort Motegi. Down the back straightaway. The number 11 from Indiana representing the Hoosier State. Weatherbolt, whatever you want to call him. He dominated stage 1. Took last mechanic stage 2 easily. And he comes off of turn number 4 to sweep him here. He's going to the championship final at Homestead in 3 weeks. It's Weatherholt, the winner here at Motegi. He takes the Blanchard's Towing 200 in fine fashion over the rest of the NASRA competition in a first overtime finish. Jonathan Cofield will finish 2nd. Adam Newton will go 3rd. Tyler Dittmer and Kerry Tribune, with issues he had earlier in the race, will come back and finish in the top 5. Colin Weatherholt, I wouldn't say write the check for a championship just yet, Stephen Bartlett, but he is 1 step closer to climbing over the valleys to do that for the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series and make the 4th different series champion of the tour.
Yeah, Weatherholt's just been so strong this series this season. We see it tonight. He won all 3 stages. He would be my prediction at the top of my head right now to take the championship.
Celebration on for the driver of Colin Weatherholt. Hey, listen, Dean Hopton and Stephen Bartlett have got you guys the rest of the way. I've already got to step away as I got another iRacing broadcast obligation. Literally, I'm 5 minutes late for. Let's go to the results of this race here tonight from Mobility Resort Motegi. It's Colin Weatherholt, the winner. Jonathan Cofield, 2nd. Adam Newton, 3rd. You'll hear from them in post-race in a matter of moments. Tyler Dittmer, Kerry Tribune, your top 5. LaBeouf, Reeves, Pappas, Cinnamon, Harris, top 10. As I look at the results, Steven, there was a lot of really good playoff drivers that really struggled tonight where Weatherhelt soared.
Yes, he did. There was a lot of strong drivers tonight. Adam Newton, one of them. We've watched him this season. He's been strong, and he gets that third spot.
The rest of the rundown, obviously, we'll grab them here in a minute. They're behind Harris is Robert Richards, Raul Meza, Joey Stiers, Stephen Gregory, Taylor Peacock. All of these guys in one shape or form was involved in an accident one or more times. There's the top 18 with, of course, Nate Bauer, James Kaufman. Your top 20 will finish out with those drivers of Bo Tiffany and, Jeffrey Johnson and Bo Tiffany. Then it's rest of the finishing order, Craig Schroeder, Greg Schroeder there, Brian Chu, Fred Lester, Justin White, Chris Blanchard, Stephen Thomas, another driver in the playoffs, crashed, finishing in the back, 7 laps down. First truck a lap down, by the way, or more, was Stephen Thomas, 26. Dane Hagen, Adam Newbert, Brandon Bullock, of the 29 drivers that finished up here tonight. That's the way it all finishes here at, of course, this racetrack. And when it's all said and done, let the celebration begin for Colin Weatherholt. And again, Stephen, he is in the championship final. No matter what happens the next 2 or 3 weeks to the driver of the number 11, he literally will be racing for the championship.
Yes, he will. He's going to be pretty excited. The first race into the Elite 10, still got 2 more to go, and already locked in.
Coming up, Dean Hopton and Mr. Stephen Bartlett will carry you the rest of the way for post-race. I'll be back with you tomorrow night for the Xfinity Series. Remember, we're off next week for the Monday Night Series. We'll be back in 2 weeks at Talladega for Happy Turkey Murder Day week with the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series playoffs. There's Colin Weatherholt, cross the line, the winner here at Mobility Resort Motegi, and he is going to the final 6 round at Homestead, and we are back in just a moment.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Welcome back to the Mobility Resort Motegi. Colin Weatherholt, the winner tonight. And we've got him and Jonathan Cofield, Adam Newton, our top 3 drivers in here right now. Go over the top 10 real quick. Colin Weatherholt, Jonathan Cofield, Adam Newton, Tyler Dittmer, Kerry Tribute. That takes you care of your top 5, followed by Brady LaBeouf, Jacob Reeves, Phil Pappas, Chris Cinnamon, and Andrew Harris rounding out the top 10. Adam, I asked this of Colin earlier in the race. I did some research on this track a couple days ago, and they say it was modeled after Darlington. Do you think that it's pretty close to what Darlington is?
Yeah, you have to drive it kind of similar. I mean, the only difference is your turn 3, the way you get off the exit. I mean, yeah, I would say it's kind of similar.
And you fought Brady LaBeouf for quite a while tonight. How did you finally get past him and get up there to third?
Just kind of watching Jonathan and Colin up there. They were rolling the center really good and getting a monster run off 1 and 2, and I kind of played that on that restart. And when I got the midway of 1, I knew I had a hell of a run coming off the corner, and I just stayed in it, and that's how I was able to get around Brady.
All right, Adam, who would you like to thank tonight?
Give a shout out and thanks to Dan Gobble for sponsoring us, Middle East Restaurant and Catering, A's Lawn and Landscaping, Family Handyman, Lumpkin for all the paint schemes, and prayers with his mother-in-law tonight. That's why he's not here. Jack's Mowing and More, Darren's Nail Gun and Repair, Brady and the team in Asbury, all y'all guys, Mama June's, LPP Race Cars, my personal sponsors, and just keep the people in Western North Carolina thoughts and prayers. Congrats to Colin to moving the championship round, and congrats to Jonathan on a good finish tonight.
All right, thank you, Adam. We'll see you in a couple of weeks at Dega. Jonathan Gofield, our second place driver tonight. Jonathan, how was the setup? How do you feel about the setup for this track tonight?
Setup was pretty good, I thought. A little loose on exit, a little loose in the middle groove, but all in all, good setup, pretty good race.
And what do you think you had to do to try and catch Colin? Was there anything you could do to try and catch him?
No, I don't think there's anything I'd do. Well, I was in the chat with him. He was doing something in 1 and 2. I couldn't. Sometimes I could mimic it, and sometimes I couldn't. 3 and 4. Sometimes I could get him, and sometimes we was even. So Colin did a real good job at clean air. Clean air is key. I could feel, sometimes he'd come across my nose. I'd get a little push and back in, try to come around. But yeah, he had us covered.
All right, thank you, Jonathan. Who would you like to thank tonight?
Yeah, my sponsors, Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, Cofield Supply and Service, SM Racing Products. If you ain't got a button box, go check those guys out. Use code BANDITS1, save you a little money. Want to thank Nazra for letting me come in here and hang out. Highline Racing for letting me in their chat, hang out. Just a good group of guys over here. A lot of fast guys. Good, clean racing. Can't wait to come in here next season fresh and run. So see how that goes.
All right, thank you, Jonathan. We'll see you in a couple of weeks at Talladega.
Thank you, sir.
Colin Weatherbolt, as some people call him, our race winner again tonight. You've won a lot of races this year, but what do you attribute to all these wins and now
strategy calls? Like I said, just the guys that you're with and you're racing with can make a big impact on your night. So definitely big thanks to Jonathan for coming in and hanging out tonight. It's a lot more fun when you're not alone in the chat, and it was just me and him tonight, so it was it worked out. We ran the same strategy and finished 1-2. I think it all worked out.
All right, Dean, you have anything for Colin?
Slow down. Colin, well, the charity event that they raised on the weekend, you know what they actually did? People out there in the chat, every time they donated money, it was they issued race control issued a drive-through penalty to the drivers. Maybe that's something that we need to do. Like charity donations out there, and all of a sudden, Colin, race control says you got to go serve a penalty, mate. You got to drive through, and you're like, what for? You're just like, just for being too quick. Simple as they did it to Max Verstappen. So, but yeah, no, you're clearly the biggest target. I've said this multiple times now. Painted on the back of your Highline Racing truck. You just got to keep doing what you're doing. But you're qualifying too, key, isn't it? Because you're not having to fight your way through the field early and avoid a lot of collisions, which is something that happens if you're in mid-pack. So, but it's not easy to qualify P1 all the time, is it?
It's a lot of work. It's qualifying's really, really high octane. It feels like it's like everything. You almost feel like your whole race is on the line for one lap, and starting towards the front definitely makes the race easier. The stages can kind of flip and turn your race upside down a little bit sometimes, but you definitely want to start off on the right foot and you don't want to focus too much on qualifying, right? Because you want to go out there and practice on your long run speed. So I think it's finding that balance and getting in a groove and practicing right. You can practice wrong, and I run maybe 1 or 2 sessions throughout the week before the race session opens up on Monday nights, and just kind of get a feel for everything. But yeah, definitely practice makes perfect.
Is it set up as well too? Because you just noticed that I just saw, and a couple of times in the replay, if you watch it in slow motion, it's probably not a bad idea for drivers out there too to have a look at your laps in slow motion when you're following this man, because you can see a lot of the other trucks or cars, the rears start slipping out a lot more. And that little bit of traction, that friction on the rear end is the reason why they don't get that little extra jump at you to attack you in the next lap. What I mean, you're so
Yeah,
smooth. What is that? Like, what's the key to your
the
success?
the trucks kind of confused me too when I first drove them. I was used to driving 800 horsepower Gen 4 cars is what I was really running a lot of oval with, and so the trucks just don't quite make that much horsepower, and they have a lot more drag. So it's really easy to think you should just be full throttle because it's sticking and it doesn't matter, but it really starts to tear up your tires. So there's a lot of times I'm just running 80% throttle up through the exit of the corner, and not just putting the foot in it and sliding the right front or the right rear. And I think that helps a lot for long run pace.
Thank you, Colin. Key secrets to success there, drivers out there. I hope you're paying attention, of course. Give him a race winner, multiple race winner, gets the job done. Colin, fans you'd like to thank and sponsors. And
Yeah, just a big shout out to everybody that watches these races Monday nights. It's fun to come in here and do that with an audience, and my friends and family that watch every Monday night, and Jason Morales with Highline Racing and our whole crew that we've got on Monday nights. It's a ton of fun to come here and have a place to race. And just a big shout out to Jonathan tonight running second. He always races me clean, and I like to think I do the same with him. So it's just a lot of fun.
All right. Thank you, Colin. You have a good night, and we'll see you here in a couple of weeks at Talladega.
Yep. We'll see you then.
Dean, your final thoughts on this race?
There you have it, Steve. Well, it was quite good. A few cautions there. A lot of good green flag racing, which is what you always like. I like green flag racing. I like a bit of cautions. I like a bit of race strategy, and I like everybody tuning in and showing their support. So give us a big thumbs up, and certainly subscribe if you do like all the racing here on the Nazareth Racing Network, which have racing all Mondays to Fridays. Of course, weekends you get off sometimes, unless we do special events, which are coming up soon, and little jokes and little things as well too. We noticed that we were talking before about Yobit, right? Yoda equals Newbit, but Yobit, that's something that we saw there in the pit lane. Something new every single time, Steve, kind of makes it a little bit more fresh and fun here at the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. As you mentioned, we are also deep into the playoffs, very deep into the playoffs now. And obviously we've only got, this is the point system, of course, going into this one, Steve. So now you've got yourself to lock the padlock, put a padlock next to Colin for the Championship 6, if I'm not mistaken there, gentlemen. And yep. First one, right? Into the Championship 6. Or we still have one more for the Elite 10. I get a little confused. I think there's one more. No, we go Championship 6 round now, don't we?
Yes. Any of these guys that win in the Elite 10 these next 2 weeks now.
2 weeks now. Okay.
3 weeks because we have a week off next week.
Right.
But these winners, they will get the padlock. They will enter into that Championship 6. So Colin Weatherholt has locked that up. He's into the Championship 6. Great race tonight. Weatherholt led the whole time. First, second stage, took the checker flag. And so from here in Motegi, virtual Japan, we will see you in 2 weeks after tonight at Talladega. Have a good night, everyone. And don't forget, we have racing all 5 nights of the week this week, 4 nights next week. Good night.